Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At InChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's basically all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Good afternoon, everybody. It looks like we are live at 5 on this lovely weekend. Welcome, anybody who's listening. Let's jump straight into it. Got to try and make these shows more efficient so we get more listeners in. So let's just crack on with these figures then. This is the crypto forecast, the strength of the network, the health of the system. That is the rundown on CoinDance. So let's have a look at the shitcoin market, because shitcoiners love looking at this, you know, just to get an idea as to where we are right now. So literally price is the last thing to move. So it's literally kind of like, you know, when you're looking at the price, what's done has already been done. So as an investor, you want to know what's happening before the price moves, you know, unless you're obviously a dirty shitcoin trader. Yeah, they don't really give a monkeys. They're just literally trying to get in there before the other traders, just looking at the price. So this is a retweet of one of my tweets. So again, I mean, there's a lot to explain here in Bitcoin. And so this was just a reply to Jimmy Jingles again. So, and this was to do with like the protocol. So he goes, laugh out loud. Haha, yeah, real funny. No, majority choose. What a fool. What a fool. So he goes, SV forked off from a majority fork. You will reap what you sow. And so I thought, right, well, obviously, I mean, it's a shitcoin, a shit for brains, doesn't really understand what he's talking about. So I tried to put it simply like this. I said, no, the majority do not get to choose the protocol. There is no choice in that matter. If the protocol could simply be chosen, it would be centrally controlled. The protocol is a concept, and Satoshi Nakamoto, aka Craig Wright, was simply able to express it through Bitcoin. By the way, this is you. So as I've said before, somebody didn't invent numbers. The concept of numbers has always been there. The concept of one was not invented. It was expressed because the concept has always been there. And this is like the Bitcoin protocol. The Bitcoin protocol has always been there. Craig was just simply able to express it. He didn't create it. The protocol cannot be changed, because if you change You can't change numbers. if you change the concept of 1, it is not 1, it's 2, or whatever it is you change it to. You cannot change that concept. And this is what I'm saying about the protocol. The protocol is a concept that has been expressed. You cannot change it without centralizing it. So the majority do not choose. That's not the way it works. But as I said, shitcoiners, shit for brains. But again, it's my job to sort of try and make this clearer for anybody who watches this. I do try and educate people. I think I've made it pretty clear there. The issue is centralized power. So the issue is there is a central point of authority in control of the money supply that this world uses. So if there is someone in control of the money supply, again, it's the old expression of, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, because you just simply won't get fed. So therefore, those who print the money have the power to print the money. There is nobody holding them to account. Literally no one at all. And let's say if somebody does try to hold them to account, they can just simply cut their funding. Where are they going to get money from if their funding is cut? This is the problem. It breeds corruption. And so then, I thought to myself, well, obviously, we're going through this financial crisis at the moment because they can't do anything with interest rates because we're still recovering from the previous financial crisis. And then they want to do, let's say they want to do an economic reset because, like I said, they can't increase interest rates because they want to keep their jobs and they want to stay next to the money printers. So they're going to look for an excuse. But this, when somebody sort of spells it out, like in this video that we're going to watch, and you actually see what's happening, I was just like, you know what? There is nothing you can do to the people who have the power to print money. But you can't survive without money. They will say, right, we're not paying you. And then what are you going to do? You can't do anything. We don't live in the Stone Age anymore. We need this fiat currency currently in order to buy goods and services and water and food and pay for our utilities. So if they do want to restrict the money supply, or they want to shut down businesses and stuff like that, to create an economic reset to cover up the fact that they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because money doesn't work, they can do it. And there's literally no one that can stop them. And again, this is also the same with what we're seeing with the elections in the United States. Again, it's social media, but some of the footage that people are showing about the election fraud is genuinely disturbing. And I don't believe that they're just simply making it up. When people have caught literally the footage on their mobile phones, I know you can't always see all the circumstances, but you get a gist. And then if you see a number of other people showing you the same footage and other people reporting on it, you're just like, wow. These people that clearly look like they are trying to rig the election are the very same people who are friends with those who have control of the money printers. So they can do whatever they want. They have unlimited funds and they want to remain in power. And they will do whatever it takes to remain in power because they can. They have unlimited funds. This is what's so scary about it. I saw a YouTube clip, in fact, we'll watch it in a minute, of Joe Biden sort of giving his acceptance speech. And it just seemed so insincere. I was like, I don't believe it. And then when he finished, there was literally maybe one or two people clapping, and the echoes were heard around wherever he was. And I was like, that sounds, wherever he is, sounds empty. And his words just do not seem sincere in the slightest. Let's have a quick look at it. Seriously, he's bumbling, just totally bumbling. He literally he reminds me of a puppet, And those that be it is right, who can we manipulate? Who's going to say what we want to say and not really question it if we just simply give them some money? That's it. This is why they like the likes of Ronald Reagan. He's an actor. He can deliver a line and he says what they want. He will say whatever they want. But if you go against what these people want, like JFK did, we all know what happened to him. You get a bullet pretty quickly. Because he wanted to cut spending on the military. He wanted disarm like nuclear weapons. And of course we now know that those close to the money printers love pumping money into closed markets so they can line their own pockets, which is the military. So suddenly if you want to you want to disarm nuclear weapons and cut funding to the military, you're basically cutting off their lifeline. They're just like, actually, that's where we pump our dirty dollars. We don't like that. Thank you very much. See you later, mate. It's shocking. Like, I don't know if you can hear this, but can you hear the echo of where he is? I mean, literally, wherever he is, just seems empty. Like usually if there's lots of audience in the arena and stuff like that, the human body absorbs sound waves, whereas here you can hear them echo. It just sounds like there's no one there. You can hear a pin drop. World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund are private entities. I didn't realize that they're not even government funded. So and these organizations go into sort of like tiger economies and third world countries, and give loans to these countries so that they can't pay them back, to basically get them in debt. It's outrageous what they do, and we all know what what the Bank of England, literally, he has got no morals whatsoever. I mean, did you hear that? A phenomenon that will disappear in 2020. How can he be saying that with such conviction unless he knew what was in the pipeline? Like, honestly, I think it's absolutely rigged. Absolutely rigged. Yeah, I mean, it really concerns me, and that's kind of like what got me onto writing this statement here, where I said, conspiracy theory: what if the central banks are purposely destroying the global economy so that no one has any of their dirty fiat currency in order to purchase Bitcoin? Crazy, right? Well, let's as somebody else had kindly replied here, and they said it's not that crazy. In fact, it's the one thing that scares me about Bitcoin. And it sent me this. Thomas Jefferson. I don't know when, don't know what year this was in, but this is pretty amazing. So, or compelling, should I say? If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks will deprive the people of all property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. The issuing power should be taken from the banks and restored to the people to whom it properly belongs. Thomas Jefferson. So he knew this. He understands this already. So it's obviously the concept was kind of like initially new to me because I'd never thought of it before. But then when someone else spells it out and you're just like, wow, they already knew this. This is kind of making sense. So let's say, for example, like the concept of Bitcoin, like I said, it cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. Like numbers cannot be changed. So you cannot get rid of the concept. The concept will be there forever. You just need someone to implement it in the exact way that Satoshi Nakamoto has done it. There is nothing that these central banks can do about it. It's evenly distributed. It's been going for 10 years. It is beyond being corrupt. And it looks like Blockstream are losing their battle to control it. Because of what is currently happening, particularly with the with the amount of transactions on chain, and then you've got people like like coming out like increasing their amount of FUD and misunderstandings about it. They seem to be ramping it up recently. And I honestly think that the people in power, and remember, they are absolute psychopaths. They will do anything. They will start wars. They will bring down towers. They will kill anybody. They will put a bullet in the back of the head of anybody that they feel as though anybody who they feel is a threat to them. This is what they have done in history. So now they're just like, oh right, this is a concept we literally cannot do anything about. It looks like Blockstream are failing. Right, so that means the only way we can kill it is the way that it can kill itself, and that is if it doesn't take off and the block reward halving, you know, because like I said, it's a race against time. They're just like, right, well, if this thing doesn't succeed, you know, as the block reward halving starts ticking closer, then we've won. So, right, now that Blockstreamer isn't working, what else can we do? Well, let's take all the money away from everybody so that nobody's got any money. And if they haven't got any money, it means they can't buy Bitcoin. I understand this is extremely far-fetched. I know this is extremely far-fetched, but it was a thought. And it was just like, well, these people are that crazy that it makes me think they could be this crazy to actually do something like that I've just described. You know, I mean, who knows? We've seen crazier things. Like, and to give you an idea about sort of how far they'll go and how underhand they'll make things, the definitive the metaphoric story for this is a documentary called Hot Coffee. Seems relatively, you know, benign and rather arbitrary. It's just simply a case about hot coffee. But when you watch this, and I would strongly recommend you watch this, you understand what they have turned the point into. They were like, oh, it's just hot coffee. It's not like, you know, well, anyway, let's watch the trailer and you can see for yourselves. Yeah, so, I mean, in the actual documentary, they show you just a brief clip of the burns that she received. Now, it wasn't the fact that she just simply sued them for the fact that they almost killed her. It was the fact that they had a prior history of not doing anything about this because this had happened to other people. That was the main thing. But, you know, I mean, she didn't think it was going to be, you know, such like this big a deal. And she signed a, what do they call it? Like a, you know, a non-disclosure agreement in order to receive, you know, a larger payout. So, I mean, she had no idea that it was going to blow up into what it did, and that corporate America were going to use it for what they ended up pushing through. It was absolutely outrageous. There we go. So just to give you, you know, whoops, hold on, don't just let's take it back. There we go. Get that on screen. There we go. So basically, in a nutshell, what they've done, I can't remember how they call it, like jackpot justice or whatever it was that he described it at the beginning. So corporate America took this case and then used it, span the narrative, and said people shouldn't be allowed to take corporates to court and sue them for such a huge amount of money for, you know, a ridiculous claim. So then they were able to get, you know, the people rally behind them. Yeah, this is outrageous. People shouldn't be able to you know, like steal from corporations on this jackpot justice. So basically, they were able to pass a law that said from now on, no one is allowed to sue a corporation for more than a certain amount of money. And that goes for anything and everything. So medical negligence, which costs people lives, which affects them forever. You know, now these people, you know, let's say for example, they cut off a wrong leg, you know, and then the other leg actually genuinely has to be amputated because they made a mistake, you know, and leaves you in a wheelchair, or like that lady there with her children who you know, brain damaged. You know, they are going to need, you know, financial assistance for the rest of their lives. But now, when they take them to court, they're just like, well, actually, yeah, you can't sue the corporation for more than this amount. And they're just like, hold on a minute, how is that fair? You know, they didn't realise what the political elite had done through this benign, you know, incident of hot coffee. It's absolutely outrageous. And again, it's to do with power. It's to do with power and those sat next to the money printers. Right then, peeps, hope you enjoyed the show. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there. Joy given, same time tomorrow. Catch you later. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and watch the full episode on Streamanity for just 20 cents. Go to www.satoshi.tv. See the link in the description below. Bitcoin, one world, one chain.
Yeah! One vision.